Hi everybody, this video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous. Dear Ollie, here it goes. The lengths that the narcs will go to in order to prove their targets are unwell is amazing. Yes, of course, that is gaslighting at its finest. Two examples and a brief background. After truly successfully breaking free from nearly all forms of contact with the narcissistic mom, entire enabler family, narcissistic tendency father, and his awful wife, the entire extended family things felt great. They still feel great. However, the reality that I am no longer in contact with them has begun to set in, especially as I begin to shine more and more in my personal life. If you looked at me at first glance or in brief conversation, you would never know the degree to which I had suffered due to these crafty narcs. I have managed to pull myself out of a huge pile of psychological shit and do something wonderful with it. That's why it is so amazing that the narcs, mostly my two biological parents, are still resorting to the following proof that I am the one with the problem. My narcissistic tendency dad enabler is a covert narc in my opinion. Totally father of the year, the do-gooder, the community philanthropist. Behind closed doors, he beat the shit out of me, cursed at me, created a 100% emotional incest situation, and abused my emotions and intellect. By the entire 20 years, he was married to my incompetent narcissistic mother. I do believe he felt remorse at times, but he's such a coward he never did anything about it, so who cares? Last year, even though he wasn't outright covertly abusing me, I still had to deal with the fucking I had to deal with the covert fucking manipulation of his end on his end. He tried forever to get me to be dependent on him emotionally so that he could feel important. When it stopped working years ago, he switched tactics. When I unplugged from him last year and blindly went no contact, he had a meltdown, called my friends, threatened to show up at my apartment, told my grandmother, his mom, my friend, and one non-narc in the family, but a passive enabler, that I was making him suffer. I sent him an email saying I was taking full time and space from my entire family. Months later, I was having vivid dreams of him dying, being a good person, even though I truly want nothing to do with him. I decided for my own peace of mind, I had to email him and let him know I loved him, though I was no contact. So I did. 24 hours later, a self-help book arrived. It was bookmarked to a specific chapter, and he included a sticky note that stated directly that he hopes I could let go of my karmic debt. Oh, I'm sorry, emotional debt. That I could let go of my emotional debt. Now, first of all, it was totally out of context. Second of all, it was a shitty book from the 90s that I could have written myself. Third of all, I treat psychiatrists for a living, and I am working on a new groundbreaking modality to help victims of abuse. What the fuck? He was blatantly and covertly at the same time shaming me. I am surprised I even opened the stupid page. I told myself I would not. I had already effectively sent everyone's emails to trash and placed appropriate filters. Can you believe he is still trying to shame me into his reality? Sick, so sick. Of course I could believe it. That's what they do. That's what they do. He's always going to accuse you of being the problem and being the crazy one. Meanwhile, this emotional debt, your emotional debt you're carrying around was paid for on the narcissist credit card. Remember that. Remember that. Remember who charged that emotional debt to your account. That's the narcissist. And now they don't want to fucking pay the bill. See, when you go no contact, all you're doing is making the narcissist pay their emotional narcissistic debt bill. And they don't like paying. We know this. Then somehow my mom created a new email address that went to my inbox. I did not read it, but it called me lovingly by an old nickname of mine. And the first line I caught, which she said I had no idea why I was avoiding her calls. Okay, right. She is the classic narc, by the way. Now single, alone, and depressed and alcoholic, but totally enabled by her stupid network of siblings and family who care more about public appearance than getting her any help. The point is, they are still trying to make me look crazy. And the irony is that not only am I the most clearly stable family member, but I am working on therapeutic modalities with true professionals. It doesn't get any sicker than that. And these people are great convincers, by the way. I think that they may actually believe there is something wrong with me, so they can contain their lie, which will explode or implode, by the way. One of the hardest things I still contend with, despite being successful and having the life of my dreams, mostly because they are not in it, is their gaslighting. The ability for these fools to still make me question my own reality is amazing. Let me tell you, it sickens and saddens me when I work with very well-known people who are quiet victims of this abuse, and they have either published award-winning works or otherwise, and yet they are also still prey to their fucked up families. And narcissists. Amazing. And to that point, you all would be fucking stunned to know some of the people who I have made videos for. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Stunned to know some of the people I have made videos for and still contact. So believe me, it's celebrities or whoever it may be, they have these problems just the same. Worse sometimes. That's why they're celebrities. The only escape is via the ego in terms of no contact. These people will never bring us the life we deserve. I could go on about the spiritual track, and I do believe in forgiveness and understanding in terms of accepting how abusive these people are. I know it's a personal hell for them, but that does no mean I need them in my reality. I want everybody to know, no matter who they are, it doesn't assign any lack of value to us when we suffer due to a narcissist. We can't be good enough, smart enough, rich enough, successful enough, good looking enough, or anything enough to avoid having to deal with their shit. And we make it beyond, and we can make it beyond their shit. But it takes some time and work, and the day will come. But they have no place in our lives until that day fully comes. They have nothing to say about it. I hope this makes sense somehow and makes a decent video topic. We do not have to be food for the narcissist. It's a matter of physics, not emotion. We could all stand to learn from the physics of being in no contact with the narcissist. Thank you for your awareness, and this is going to be such a great year for you, truly. Well, thank you. Thank you again, Anonymous, for your contribution and your story. And what the real important thing here is that emotional debt comment, that your father tried to shove that in your face about the emotional debt that you carry. And why the no contact bothers the narcissist so much. They are the ones who charged up that emotional debt on your account. Your no contact is you collecting on the bill. And they don't like it. They don't like it. All that gaslighting. is to get you to avoid the fact that they're the ones who charged up that emotional debt to fucking begin with. Now they don't want to pay the bill. And the bill is the consequence. The bill is the no contact that they don't want to have to deal with of their actions. That's why they do what they do. That's what's going on here. That's what emotional debt is about. That's what the no contact is about. The no contact is you collecting on that emotional debt, and they don't like it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave your any comments or opinions in the comments section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, or audio of a narcissist you'd like to expose, you know what to do with the PayPal link in the description box. I'll have the video right back to you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye.